Today, the Taliban claimed responsibility for killing 2 American service members in Afghanistan. Leaders as disparate as President Obama and President Trump have both said that they want to end U.S. involvement in Afghanistan, but it isn't over for America. Why isn't it over? Why can't presidents of very different parties and very different temperaments get us out of there? And how could you?
I appreciate that question. So I've been in Congress 17 years. And 12 of those years, I've sat on the Armed Services Committee, either the Defense Appropriations Committee or the Armed Services Committee. And the lesson that I've learned over the years is that you have to stay engaged in these situations. Nobody likes it. It's long. It's tedious. But right now we have, so I would say we must be engaged in this. We must have our State Department engaged. We must have our military engaged to the extent they need to be. But the reality of it is this president doesn't even have people appointed in the State Department to deal with these things, whether we're talking about Central America, whether we're talking about Iran, whether we're talking about Afghanistan. We've got to be completely engaged. And here's why. Because these flare-ups distract us from the real problems in the country. If getting drones shot down for $130 million because the president is distracted, that's $130 million that we could be spending in places like Youngstown, Ohio, or Flint, Michigan, or rebuilding.
Congresswoman Gabbard, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, actually, to jump off what he said. He described engagement as the problem. Is that what you will
tell the parents of those 2 soldiers who were just killed in Afghanistan? Well, we just have to be engaged. As a soldier, I will tell you that answer is unacceptable. We have to bring our troops home from Afghanistan. We are in a place in Afghanistan where we have lost so many lives. We've spent so much money, money that's coming out of every one of our pockets, money that should be going into communities here at home, meeting the needs of the people here at home. We are no better off in Afghanistan today than we were when this war began. This is why it's so important to have a president and commander-in-chief who knows the cost of war and who's ready to do the job on day one. I am ready to do that job when I walk into the Oval Office. Thank you very much.
Listen, I'm going to go down the line. I'm going to go down the line here. Well, you know what? You felt like she was responding. You get 30 seconds. Go.
Good man.
Fair enough.
I appreciate that.
I hear what you're saying.
I would just say I don't want to be engaged. I wish we were spending all this money in places that I've represented that have been completely forgotten and we were rebuilding. But the reality of it is, if the United States isn't engaged, the Taliban will.
Don't worry, Tim Ryan. I don't want to be engaged either. After all, I am enjoying the single life. I can't believe I have to say this to you, Tim Ryan, but war is a bad meme. Hello, I'm Christopher Anafaxton, and welcome to my channel. Today, I thought I would talk a little bit about why I am fed up with the Democratic Party, with the neoliberal establishment, and why I did not vote for Joe Biden during the 2020 election cycle. My main issue with Joe Biden as a candidate, and basically neoliberal candidates in general, is that neoliberals oppose healthcare. Think about this, guys. We're in the middle of a pandemic, a global pandemic, and we still don't have healthcare nationwide for everyone. This is the richest country on the face of the earth, the wealthiest nation. We should be able to implement a system to where everyone could see a doctor at a reasonable price, no? But no, the only thing Joe Biden offered was lower the Medicare age to 65, I think it was, or 60 or something. Anyway, something to where I don't get it because I'm not going to be a senior for another 40 years. So it's just healthcare for the rich people, and if you're broke, then screw you, I guess. Yeah. Guys, on that note, let me tell you a story. I studied in Japan for 10 months, and during my time there, I got healthcare under the Japanese government healthcare system, and it was pretty awesome. Now, I believe Japan is single payer. So for the entire 10 months, I was only charged about 50 US dollars. There were other Asians there who would tell me stories about how they had friends and family who would fly into Japan just to see a Japanese doctor on the Japanese government's dime, pay like $20 and fly back home. Yeah, so their system is like really efficient. So much so that they have medical tourism. You think that America would be able to have something as affordable as that. But the secret's out, guys. Everywhere else in the world you get healthcare. Now, the only good thing to come out of the Obama administration was probably the Affordable Care Act. And I turned 26 last year, so that expired for me. I now have no health insurance. Well, I think I do actually qualify for some sort of Medicare through the state of Washington because I'm below the poverty line. But that really doesn't qualify me for much. I can only see a select few number of doctors. And most of the specialists that I need to see, they don't take state insurance. You have to have private insurance to see like specialized therapists and stuff. So yeah, that sucks. Neoliberals don't offer any health care. Why else didn't I vote for Joe Biden? Oh yeah, his foreign policy is complete trash. Yeah, Joe Biden is basically a genocidal war criminal. I mean, I don't know why I could vote for a guy like that. He voted for the Iraq War, and the Americans killed millions of innocent Arabs in Iraq. What else did Joe Biden do that was disgusting? Well, while Obama was in office and during the 2011 invasion of Libya, Joe Biden was in power. During the 2013-2014 invasion of Syria, Joe Biden was in power, and they killed hundreds of thousands of people in Syria and displaced millions more. What else? Oh yeah, the genocide in Yemen. That started under the Obama administration. Biden was in power then. He didn't do anything about it, didn't say anything. Fully supported those horrible policies. You know, in Yemen, they put a full blockade over the country so that supplies couldn't get in, and then indiscriminately droned civilians from the sky in tangent with the Saudi Air Force. Yeah, pretty bad. So his foreign policy is basically Hitler tier, and there's no way I could vote for a guy like that. Why else does Joe Biden suck? Oh yeah, Joe Biden, right, helped implement the crime bill of the 1990s that helped criminalize millions of black people and ruin hundreds of thousands of lives and put millions of American citizens behind bars. And it's like, guys, don't get me wrong. I don't want my cities to be infested with like drugs and crime and shit. But you have to understand that locking people away for their entire lives and ruining their lives over a problem that the government basically created is pointless. Like, everyone's always talking about, oh, we have such a heroin epidemic in America. All the opioids people are using. Why are people addicted to heroin? And it's like, well, guys, if you didn't invade Afghanistan and bomb the country just so you could steal opium, then maybe you wouldn't be addicted to opium. It's like the solution to the problem is just right in front of us. We're addicted to opium and we're invading Afghanistan and stealing opium. Maybe if we stopped stealing opium from Arabs, we wouldn't be addicted to it. But it's like, no, Americans, we don't think like that yet. It's just rah rah, we have bombs, rah rah, America. Just the hive mind clicks in and people just become stupid. It's like, I don't understand why. Okay, we all read all these books, right, about how the Vietnam War was so horrible, all the millions of innocent people in Vietnam who were murdered by the American government just because they wanted to have a communist regime instead of a democratic regime. And it's like, so people are allowed to choose their own governments, right? Except for when it's going to be a government that's going to interfere with capitalist enterprise in Southeast Asia. Then that's a bad thing. And all of a sudden, democracy means bombing people and killing millions of people. Really doesn't make any sense. And you think that we would have learned from that, or we read all the books about how the Eastern European Jews were oppressed by Hitler, and Hitler rose up and destroyed all of Eastern Europe and destroyed Russia and killed so many people and nearly destroyed the United Kingdom. But it's like, no, as soon as the Americans want to steal oil from the Arab nations, then it's just like, oh, we all forgot that genocide and war is bad, and we're just going to ignore the fact that it's happening and vote for people who implemented those same terrible policies that brought us nearly to the brink of war with Russia in Syria. And it's like, guys, I can't keep facilitating the obvious problem. Like, don't ask me to be a part of that when clearly, like, what the fuck? Like, people will dead ass like tell you that you're stupid for not voting for Joe Biden. And I'm like, okay, well, Joe Biden said, if I don't support you, you ain't black. Or if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, it's like, dude, how does that make any sense? You're locking us up. You bombed Libya and enslaved people, killed hundreds of thousands, displaced hundreds of thousands, destroyed the entire nation. So if I don't support your policies of locking up black people and enslaving Libyans who are Africans, then I'm not really a black man. How does that make any sense? It's stuff like that. He's so entitled. He really just thinks, oh, dude, I'm a Democrat. You need to vote for me because why would you vote for a Republican? It's like, I could just not vote because you're a war criminal. Like,
since Frankie threw me a farewell dinner when I was going to Ireland. That was a lifetime ago. I ain't putting scared in this country. Say it was strong. What's the problem? You don't want to die for the bank's cash.
with me.
They're after us, boys. Check the other platform.
Get down! You ain't taking me down! Move a muscle out! My leg is hit! Get down, motherfucker! Get down! Police! Place the gun on the ground! I ain't going to jail in this country! Any more of you? Any more? You were pulled out!
Give up, asshole!
Fuck, man, fuck! A rough world.
I haven't seen combat like this since Belfast!
I ain't giving up this money! Don't want to get in my way! There ain't no reason to get in my way! We just made a withdrawal! What? We ain't got no choice, people! We gotta head onto the track! Down until I see them! I got plans for this money. I ain't dropping it. Go back home to your kids. You don't want to die here. We can't let these cops pin us down in here. Fuck! Catch cars now! One of them is got arms. Let him go, fucking! Nico, follow us on the track. You ain't taking me down. I told you not to miss. I'm fighting for this cash! You almost lost me and a big bag of money there, boy!